Dear friends, dear students, welcome to today's Party Systems class of our Comparative Politics PhD module. And today we are going to talk about party systems. Generally, two-party systems are identified with majoritarian democracy and multi-party systems are identified with consensus democracy. According to the literature, two-party systems are advantageous in providing clear choices to electorate in terms of parties and policies. Two major parties compete for swing votes and the politics remain at the central spectrum. However, if both parties are adjusted to the central spectrum, their programs are likely to be rather similar. It is also claimed that two-party systems lead to stability and one-party governments, which is preferable for policymakers. Coalition governments are short-lived and one-party governments are stable. Majoritarianists prefer two-party system for dominant and powerful cabinets. And sometimes there are closely allied parties, and can we count them as one political party? According to Professor Leipart, there are some criteria for that. And we also need to take into account the effective number of parliamentary parties, how many parties are there in the parliament. And we should keep in mind that two parties and only two parties are rather rare. So it is not, very usual to have one party in government and one party in opposition. It is more usual that we have one party in government and more than one party in opposition. A small party can be a potential partner if the major ones regard it to be so. Extremist parties might not be coalition partners, but if they are large enough, they are still counted in. And according to Sartori's criteria, size and ideological compatibility are determining the party system in the country. Large parties can blackmail the rivals. Small parties, even if they are moderate, are far less blackmailing as well. What is blackmailing? Well, these are my conditions. If you don't accept, I'm going to have another coalition partner. This is blackmailing. And if you have a look at the slide, for a two-party system, the hypothetical example of seat shares is around 55 to 45. 55 one party, 45 another party, and in such a case, effective number of political parties is remaining at 2. There is a 2.5 party system, multi-party system with a dominant party, and multi-party system without a dominant party. I'm not counting all the seat numbers here. You might have a look at this slide, and you might utilize Professor Leipart's Party Systems chapter. In United Kingdom, there is a clear two-party system. The major parties and other weak parties are in parliament. One party generally has the majority. If there are two major parties and a potential coalition partner, we might call it a 2.5 party system, but coalition governments in United Kingdom are very unusual, so we call the British party system a two-party system. There are in some countries some twin parties, dear friends, that actually look like one party. And there are some parties that actually look like two parties because of their internal divisions. So the criteria one, who challenges who? The different parties, are they challenging each other? For instance, the Christian Democrat Union and Christian Social Union in Germany are like one party. They are two different parties, but they are acting like one party. For instance, the Christian Social Union dominates candidates only in Bavaria and nowhere else. And the other Christian Democrat Party does not nominate anyone in Bavaria. So there is a cooperation between the two. In Australia, Liberals and Nationals do not challenge each other's incumbent candidates in single-seat districts, but both might challenge Labour's incumbent candidates. So there is a coalition as well, and the two different parties in Australia as well, they are acting like a united party. And there is another criteria, of course. Are the different parliamentary parties establishing a common parliamentary group? For instance, the CDU and CSU in Germany are doing so. They have a collective parliamentary group. Cooperation in opposition and government. Are they separate or together? For instance, if one party is in the opposition, its partner might also choose to be in opposition. But if when the one is in opposition, the other goes to government, there is a strife in there. There is a cleavage in there. So we might consider whether those two parties are acting like a one united party. And of course, another criteria is the time. And it's a matter of how long does the alliance live. Just for 1 year, then it's not two parties. For 10 years. So yes, it might be a two parties acting like a one party. Dear friends, in the slide you might see countries having the parliamentary parties in elections that were held between 1945 till 2010. For instance, in average, Switzerland, there were over 5 parties in the parliament, over 5 parties in the parliament for Switzerland, over 5 parties in the parliament for Finland, but less than 3 parties in the parliament for Ireland, Korea, Mauritius, Austria, Costa Rica, and I recommend you have a look at the table there in the slide, as well as the tables, the other tables in Professor Leipart books, the chapter about party systems. Dear friends, that will be all for today's class, and if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll be pleased to answer you. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.